Hi, friends. Well, here we are, Thanksgiving. Day after, perhaps, but we're going to give thanks anyway. And I'm going to answer a lot of questions with one particular technique because so many of you wanted to know more about this candle business. Well, I'll get right into it. But for those of you who haven't seen it finished, there it is. The completed work. I call it energy. It does kind of exude energy. Okay. A question that was asked the other day and that was in a previous video. Hi, Burt. Can you help me? I would like a partner in life, a love partner. For whatever reason, I've been alone for many years. Can you tell me how to begin manifesting the right romantic partner for me? I would be most grateful. Best regards and happy Thanksgiving. In gratitude, Cindy. Well, Cindy asked the question, and I said I was going to answer it for everybody because when I give you the technique, when you understand the technique of candles, you can really utilize this particular technique for just about anything. I'll probably never forget. I'll always remember this one. Obviously, I'm talking about it now, so I do remember it, even though it happened about 15 years ago. I was doing a seminar in Jackson Heights. Jackson Heights is in just outside of Manhattan in New York City. Well, is in Manhattan, I should say, or maybe Queens. Those of you who know, well, don't bother commenting. It's really not important where it is. At any rate, I was doing a seminar in Jackson Heights. And there was a gentleman, a fairly nice-looking man, in the group, in the audience, who asked a very similar question. He says, I don't understand it. I can't seem to find a girl. I can't seem to find a woman. Is there anything? He said, and besides, he says, I know the reason why I can't. And I said, well, what's the reason? He says, there's a voodoo spell on me. I said, a voodoo spell? I think this is what made me think of candles. Not that the candles have anything whatever to do with voodoo. But I said, I know a way to break this spell. He said, well, how's that? I said, well, you get two candles. Two candles about so long. Two candles. You get a blue candle and you get a green candle. And you take the two candles, you light one of them with a wooden match. Light the candle with the wooden match. You put the wooden match down safely, and then you light the blue candle, you light the green candle with the blue candle. Now you hold the blue candle in your left hand and the green candle in your right hand. And then you put the tips of the two candles together and you blow out the flame, like so. And there'll be a little smoke, so you intermingle the smoke like that. And then you put the two candles together and put them in a white cloth, wrap them up in a white cloth, and put that cloth under your bed around the area of your heart. Well, he did that. And about 3 months later, my sponsor, who set up the program for me there in New York City, she called me up to tell me, do you remember Juan? And I says, no. She says, he's the one that was looking for a woman. Oh, yeah, I do remember him. I didn't recall his name. She said, no, it was Juan. I says, what about him? She says, he's engaged to be married. Well, I thought that was kind of interesting. Did the candles do it? I don't know what's doing it. With these techniques, as long as you do something, something happens. But we've had so much success with candles, with just about everything. I brought a couple of candles here to show you exactly what to do. Not that you really need much instruction. There's not much. You can't really do it wrong. Now, I've got two red candles. Now, this is for Cindy. You take a wooden match. I prefer wooden matches, more natural. You light one candle. When that candle, now what color are the candles? Incidentally, at that class, there was a woman in the class, and she said, well, you told him how to find a woman. How do I find a man? And I said, well, do the same thing, except put the green candle in your left hand and the blue candle in your right hand. And she did. I didn't hear back from her, though. Okay, you got your one candle, then you set it to the other candle. I'm doing this for you, Cindy. Actually, I'm doing it for you. However, I'm not putting it under my bed. You know, you'll have to get your own candles for that. Then you blow them out like so. You put them together. You blow them out. Now the smoke is coming up, and you just twirl the candles around like so until it stops smoking. And then when it stops smoking, I'm not going to wait long, you just put the candles together and get a white cloth. Put the cloth over the candles, like so. Under the bed, right around the area of where your heart would be, under your bed. And that's it. Now, your intention is to find a mate, find someone who's loving. That's enough. Now, how long do you leave it under your bed? Just leave it under your bed till you find your guy. He'll come to you. That's the whole idea of this. What else can you use candles for? I've had a lot of people use these candles to get rid of a poverty consciousness. How do you get rid of a poverty consciousness? Now, your intent is what makes all these things work. What do you intend to do? If you feel that the world is not giving you, not allowing you as much in the way of income, money, work as you should, you should have, that you feel you should have, it could be that it's your poverty consciousness. I've spoken about that before. But here's one way to eliminate the poverty consciousness with candles. Now, candles have been used for thousands of years, especially by churches. You walk into a church and there's going to be candles burning all over the place, people praying through the candles. Well, that's what we're doing. It's the same thing. It's a program. Now, with respect to the poverty consciousness, you light your candle. I'm not going to light the candle again. You know how to light a candle. You get a plate, put a little wax in the plate, put the candle in the plate like so, and then put the candle in a safe place, in the sink or someplace like that, and then just say to the candle, can you do this mentally? You can. I prefer doing it out loud. As the wax melts, as the candle melts away, as the wax melts and burns away, so let my poverty consciousness melt and burn away with it. And that's it. As the wax melts and burns away, let my poverty consciousness melt and burn away with it. The next morning, there'll be a little pile of wax in the plate. Take the pile of wax out of the plate and bury it in your yard, your backyard and your front yard. What if you don't? What if you live in a place where there is no yard, there's no place to bury it? Well, then you want to put it in a paper bag and just dump it somewhere. Just throw it away, because your poverty consciousness is no more. You're throwing that away also. As, let's say, you resent somebody, you have negative feelings towards somebody. As the wax melts and burns away, so let my resentment, jealousy, my negative feelings, whatever, let that melt and burn away as well. How about candle healing? As the wax melts and burns away, so let all damaged cells in my body melt and burn away. Now, you may have to watch this a couple of times to gather all that information, or just to review it. But you get the idea. You can use this for just about anything. But do report to me, if you will, comment on how this business is working for you. You can use it. You can make up your own. I've given you the idea. That's really all you need. But our time is up. It's only got about 10 seconds left, so I'm going to sign off now. And either above this or below this will be another video for you for this Thanksgiving. Thank you very much. See you soon.